Welcome to all our learners to YuktMind's initiative of 10 minutes and newspaper done. This is afternoon of 11th May and we can feel hot and dry winds called Lu outside. There's also another local wind called Sarako. If you know about it, please write in the comments below. Such local winds can be asked in the exams to be matched with their originating regions. We will cover it in our geography sessions. We have selected 8 articles from today's newspaper. You can download the PDF of our gist from our Telegram channel or website Daily Current Affairs tab. First news, China has objected to a proposal by India to blacklist senior Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist Abdul Rauf Azhar at the United Nations Security Council. Beijing had last year put holds on proposal to blacklist Pakistan-based terrorists Hafiz Talha Saeed, Lashkar-e-Taiba leader Shahid Mahmood and Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist Sajid Mir. China has that power because it is one of the 5 nations as permanent members of UNSC. India is also vying for similar status at United Nations Security Council. China, being all-weather friend of Pakistan, objects such proposal, thereby promoting terrorism in the world. Second news, the Indian Council of Medical Research successfully conducted a trial run of delivery of blood bags under its iDrone initiative. iDrone initiative was first used during the COVID-19 pandemic by the Indian Council Medical Research for distributing vaccines to remote areas. You can use this example in GS paper 3 with topic science and technology, developments and their applications and effects in everyday life. New examples being used in mains fetch more marks. Third news, study on sludge finds high potential for use as fertilizer after treatment. A first of its kind analysis of the sludge found in Indian sewage treatment plants set up to treat polluted water from the Ganga found that most of it had high potential for use as fertilizers but required treatment before it could be used unrestricted on farms or as a potential biofuel. An emerging initiative of the National Mission for Clean Ganga, a flagship program of the government to establish treatment facilities and prevent pollution of the river, is to derive livelihood opportunities from the river rejuvenation program. One of the measures under this Arth Ganga, which is economic value from Ganga, is to monetize and reuse treated wastewater and sludge. This means converting sludge, which is a thick residue that is rich in organic chemicals and is also a repository of heavy metals, industrial effluents, and bacterial contaminants into a usable product such as manure and bricks. Now, treated sludge can be classified as Class A or B as done in other countries like United States Environment Protection Agency has done, with Class A which is safe and can be useful as organic fertilizers. Class B has restricted agricultural applications. The edible parts of the crop should not be exposed to the sludge mixed soils, and animals and people should not come in extensive contact with such sludge. India as of now does not have any such standards, and we should build something like that to have safe food in our country. Fourth news, cybercrime racket in Nuh district duped 28,000 people of 100 crore Haryana Police. The accused had lured people through online advertisement with sales on different products and work from home jobs and extorted money through honey trap. The accused would lure people with attractive offers like motorbikes, cars, and mobile phones and seek money on the pretext of courier and transportation charges, but the goods were never delivered. In some cases, the accused honey trapped people through profiles on social media platforms, recorded their videos, and extorted large sums of money. The bank account used to transfer money were mostly activated online, seeking details such as Aadhaar, PAN, and mobile number. We also know the famous example of Jamtara in Jharkhand having similar rackets. Fifth news, over 3,000 lumpy skin disease cases in Uttarakhand. Lumpy skin disease is caused by infection with the lumpy skin disease virus in cattle or water buffalo. It is primarily spread between animals through the bite of vectors such as mosquitoes and flies. Such diseases in cattle becomes important because India had the largest cattle inventory in the world in 2023, followed by Brazil and China. And we are also the largest producer of milk at 23% of the world supply. So we need to take care of our cattle and be very much aware of all the diseases. Sixth news, boot annuity model. There is a specifically mentioned topic called investment models in GS paper 3. So any such descriptions of contract work with government is important. Background is controversies related to the implementation of artificial intelligence powered camera surveillance system in Kerala. It was implemented using boot annuity model of public-private partnership. Now, what is boot? Build, own, operate, and transfer model. It's a variation of the bot model, except that the ownership of the newly built facility will rest with the private party during the period of contract. This will result in a transfer of most of the risks related to planning, design, construction, and operation to the private partner. In boot, the facility project built under PPP will be transferred back to the government departments or agency after the private partner recovers its investment and reasonable return agreed to as per the contract. What is annuity model? It means the government makes payment of a fixed amount in equal installments based on the completion of a targeted project milestones. There is also another famous model, hybrid annuity model, which was asked in the 2018 mains paper. So please know such models. Seventh news, a ground view of the Indian Space Policy 2023. Until the early 1990s, India's space industry and space economy were defined by ISRO, which is government owned. Private sector involvement was limited to building to ISRO designs and specifications. The second space age began with the licensing of private TV channels, the explosive growth of the internet, mobile telephony, and the emergence of the smartphone. Today, while ISRO's budget is approximately $1.6 billion, India's space economy is over $9.6 billion. So you can see the gap where private players can come and have active participation in India's space sector. Broadband, OTT, and 5G promise a double-digit annual growth in satellite-based services. It is estimated with enabling environment, the Indian space industry could grow up to $60 billion by 2030, directly creating more than 2 lakh jobs. So what is the need of the Indian space policy? Today, more than half the transponders beaming TV signals into Indian homes are hosted on foreign satellites, resulting in an annual outflow of over $500 million. A remote sensing data policy was introduced in 2001, which was amended in 2011. In 2016, it was replaced by a national geospatial policy that has been further liberalized in 2022. Indian users, including the security and defense agencies, spend nearly $1 billion annually to procure Earth observation data and imagery from foreign sources. So to streamline matters, a draft space activities bill was brought out in 2017, which went through a long consultative process. It lapsed in 2019 with the outgoing Lok Sabha. Now there are gaps in new space policy. The policy sets out an ambitious role for in-space but provides no time frame for the necessary steps ahead. Neither is there an indicative timeline for ISRO's transitioning out of its current practices, nor is there a schedule for in-space to create the regulatory framework. The policy framework envisaged will need clear rules and regulations pertaining to FDI, licensing, government procurement, new space startups, liability in case of violations, appellate framework, and dispute settlement. A regulatory body needs legislative authority. In space is expected to authorize space activities for all, government and non-government. Currently, its position is ambiguous as it functions under the purview of the Department of Space, that is Government of India. The Secretary of the Department of Space is also Chairman of ISRO. The government entity is to be regulated by InSpace. So the regulator has to be neutral for government and non-government entities. So it cannot be under the control of government body. We have covered the previous news, the new space policy by India in detail on April 23rd gist of our newspaper 10 minutes and newspaper 10 initiative. So you can go and visit for the complete detail. Now, 8th news, the perilous lives of Indian workers. With economic growth and industrial progress, India has witnessed an unfortunate consequence, a disturbing rise in workplace accidents. Countless lives are lost or irreversibly altered due to inadequate occupational safety measures and hazardous working conditions. You can see the data given by Directorate General Factory Advice Service and Labour Institutes Report 2021. The expanding informalization of the economy has already pushed numerous MSMEs out of the formal sector, which accounts for 90% of our GDP. The vast majority of MSMEs, which accounts for 33% of India's GDP, are not subject to any safety regulations. Laws and regulations are not often strictly enforced and do not fully cover all industries and types of employment. There are loopholes and inconsistencies exposing workers in some industries or informal sectors to hazardous working conditions. The majority of workers do not even have adequate health coverage. It is sad that workers' health and safety are among the first to go in order to save money. So, way forward is worker safety, decent pay, and social security must be prioritized in any industrial planning. As long as we reduce the inequality in the country and give workers a good pay, our country will have even better growth and better consumption by the population of the country. Thank you for watching. Keep visiting our website, Telegram channel, Instagram and Twitter handles. Thank you.